Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. I am Pat from Pat's Path Predictor, and there really isn't that much to really cover for today, but we do have a couple of interesting days that are ahead of us. The first one is today, where there's a slight risk in parts of South Dakota and Nebraska. It got issued yesterday. And the second part is the day 4 outlook, where parts of the Rio Grande Valley is under a 15% risk, although the 15% risks in the other days have kind of flopped and made either marginal risks or just evaporated completely. So that's basically what's going on. I'll be keeping an eye on it, and let's go ahead and dive right into it. Alright, so this is the slight risks for today for parts of Nebraska and South Dakota right here, including the cities of North Platte and Aberdeen. Only 179,000 people are going to be affected by this, so not too big of a population right there. So it's mainly affecting the crop fields and all that. Tornado risk is that they upped it to 2% for parts of North and South Dakota right here. We're probably not going to see any tornadoes. If we do, we're probably going to see a weak one. Wind threat is what's driving the slight risk up. It's a 15% risk in these areas right here for some severe winds. Okay, this one is out of date right here. And the hail threat is basically just about the same thing right there. So that's all we have right here. And this is the latest. This is the latest one right here. There is a slight risk of severe weather for late this afternoon and evening across parts of South Dakota and Nebraska. Summary: scattered strong thunderstorm development is possible late this afternoon and evening, particularly across parts of northern Great Plains, where a few may be severe and capable of producing large hail and potentially damaging wind gusts. This is the latest update from 20Z, or about 3 p.m. or even 2 p.m. Mountain Time, because some of those areas in parts of South Dakota is in Mountain Time. So yeah, based on the progression of synoptic and subsynoptic features and ongoing trends concerning instability, the risk for thunderstorms during the remainder of this period appears increasingly negligible in a number of areas. Some adjustments to the categorical thunderstorm lines have been made and account for this, reducing thunderstorm probabilities below 10%. Some initial attempts at deep convective development are evident across parts of the Texas Hill Country and Edwards Plateau vicinity. However, due to the presence of warm capping, elevated mixed layer air beneath the mid-level ridging, the risk for sustained thunderstorm development near the sharpening dry line is also appearing increasingly questionable. Even so, potential instabilities become quite large concerning the region in areas of modest shear. Where if a storm can initiate and be maintained, the evolution of a supercell or two does still appear possible. Given little change in degree of conditional severe threat, the previous outlook in the area will be maintained. So it's referring to this marginal risk area right here. So yeah, that's basically all the news we have for day 1. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at day 4 actually, because this is where it gets a bit. This is the area where it's a bit more interesting right here. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Before we go down to the summary, I forgot. There's a 15% risk from the U.S.-Mexico border all the way up to Oklahoma. I'm not sure if this is going to hold or not, because based on the fact that there are so many other 15% risk days in the last week have flopped essentially. So I'll be keeping a close eye on this, and this is for day 4, which is on Tuesday. So yeah, I'll actually look at the Cape at this as well, just to see if we're gonna find anything. Discussion: complex evolution of a western U.S. trough is expected to occur through the medium range period. Model differences have become increasingly apparent with time, with the system shifting slowly eastward across the western into the central United States throughout the period. This complexity and the associated differences in solutions from the various models hints at low predictability, thus a lack of confidence in already highlighting areas of severe weather potential. On day 4, on Tuesday, while the trough remains over the west, the ridging over the plains should limit convection and severe risk overall. Some risk is evident over the upper Mississippi Valley area once again, near a surface baroclinic zone, progging to continue lingering across the area. Once again, the most likely scenario will be the storms in the cool side of the boundary, given warm sector capping. At this time, the risk does not appear sufficient to warrant an aerial highlight. A slightly greater risk may evolve, however, in the southern high plains vicinity. Here, model forecasts are a subtle cyclonic disturbance will will move northeastward out of Mexico, contributing to ascent along the dry line, likely to evolve as another day of strong heating and mixing is once again expected across the region. Though deep layer shear may remain a bit marginal, moderate high-based cape should be sufficient for a few stronger storms, some associated with wind and hail risk. Beyond the day 4, a gradual piecemeal eastward advance of the western U.S. upper system is expected. While areas of increased severe storm potential will likely accompany the storm's advance, this temperature will not appear to highlight any specific areas of heightened risk. So, like I said, not very much news to report today weather-wise, so that's basically what's going on. Let's actually take a look at the Cape. The Cape for up in parts of North and South Dakota and parts of Nebraska, it may crack 2,000 in a few areas, but it's not going to be particularly that conducive as what we've seen. So that's basically what's keeping the slight risk alive, just the amount of Cape and the amount of shear that's going to be here with it. So that's basically what's going on with that. Let's actually go ahead and go to the southern high plains. Let's actually go ahead and use the North American model, or NAM. Well, the 18Z is still working, so we'll use the 12Z. Although for today, the Cape in parts of Texas is pretty high. The rest of the severe ingredients aren't really there to warrant any severe risk. So we'll take a look at this. This is for Tuesday right here, though. So this is an interesting development right here. And this is by 21Z for parts of Texas into Oklahoma right here. We're seeing right now Cape values cracking 6,000 joules per kilogram in parts of Oklahoma and Kansas right here. So if the rest of the ingredients come together and there's a good amount of shear in that area, we could be seeing a pretty bad outbreak in this area. But the main focus is from this area all the way up to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, where the rest of the ingredients appear to be at the best combination. Then again, we cannot ignore the fact that there's 3,000 to 4,500 joules per kilogram of Cape in these areas, so we cannot ignore that fact. So basically, yeah, this looks like a pretty conducive environment for severe weather. I'm glad they issued the 15% risk here, but the question is depending on if the shear is strong enough. Actually, I want to take a look at the dew point temperatures, because the dew point temperatures are there. I want everyone to know the dew point temperatures are there. The humidity is there. It all depends on that shear, as well as the Cape in the first 3 kilometers, the lower 3 kilometers of the atmosphere. That's what it depends on right there. So the dew point is in the upper 70s here. The area where they highlighted it is in the mid 60s to lower 70s. So if the shear gets to a point where it's going to produce severe weather, and the vorticity is going to be good enough, we could see some interesting weather happening. Then again, it is too early to really say what's going to happen. But this Cape area right here, we're cracking already for the NAM. We're cracking 6,000 joules per kilogram right here, and this is parts of eastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, and parts of western Missouri. So yeah, I'll be keeping an eye out on this, and I'll let you guys know if they end up expanding or contracting this. So, because depending on how that shear is executed, depending on how that vorticity flow goes, that'll depend on how much severe weather we get. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps me out and helps me make more videos like these. The goal in this channel is to get more people involved with weather. So with that being said, guys, have a wonderful day. Stay safe.